That day, Lajohntay and I was sitting in a meeting, and I asked him, I was like, so what do you think about the city? What do you think about Baltimore? He's like, Coach, I'm going to introduce myself to the city tonight. And so when he got that punt return, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And like, you did surely that by introducing yourself with that punt return.
I mean, this is different. Lajohntay Wester, man. I ain't gotta tell you much, man. I ain't gotta explain too much, man. Right? So we're checking in on Mr. 83 as he makes his way to the 53-man roster. And, off season, I was just a dude saying, hey, y'all watch out for Lajohntay. Y'all watch out for Lajohntay. Hey, y'all better watch out for Lajohntay. Now, the world has seen it. I feel like the Ravens' best kept secret is out for everybody. Obviously, he had his touchdown last preseason game. We're going to hope he can make some more splashes in this upcoming preseason game. But so far in the training camp this week, he's been getting a lot of praise, right? A lot of people have been praising what he did. The PFF grades are coming out for what he did and how he got it done. So we're just going to do a little, a little check-in on the main man, Lajohntay, the Florida Atlantic former, the Buffalo former, the now Raven. All right, first off, I still feel great. You know what I'm saying? Last weekend had me feeling good. You had Lajohntay going crazy. You had Shador doing his thug dizzle. Even Jimmy Horns running around time. It felt good. It felt like a coming out party for the former Buffaloes. Now, Lajohntay Wester did have the highest rookie grade. So the highest graded rookie wide receiver from preseason week 1, Lajohntay Wester, 84.1. Remember, he didn't just return kicks. He did get a few receptions. And just so, I know, I got to remind you how that boy did it. I just want to see the high knees, man. I like when he put them knees to the sky. I was like, that boy out of there, dog. He gone, man. He going to go one way. He going to give you another one. He going to come back the other way. The knees is touching the sky, and Lajohntay don't see nothing but the end zone. Hey, I'm going to see y'all later, man. I'm going to see y'all later. Now, I brought up FAU for a very specific reason. I wasn't just trying to drop, former schools. There's been a very tight connection, obviously, with Willie Taggart, Lajohntay Wester's former head coach at FAU, somebody that recruited him and all that stuff. Now he's the running back coach for, Baltimore Ravens. So we're going to hear, how he felt about Lajohntay introducing himself into the city.
I knew he was going to come and impress people by the way he played. Tell you what was cool about the other night was that day, Lajohntay and I was sitting in a meeting, and I asked him, I was like, so what do you think about the city? What do you think about Baltimore? He's like, Coach, I'm going to introduce myself to the city tonight. And so when he got that punt return, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And like, you did surely that by introducing yourself with that punt return. So that was pretty cool. He kind of spoke it into existence. But that's what he does. He's been doing that since day one when we recruited him. Nobody recruited him, and we got him. And from day one, he just showed he was a heck of a football player.
Absolutely. I don't want to take a detour too much. I want to talk about Deion. I don't want to talk about Colorado too much, but there's a lot. And I think at this bold, it's been a year I've been saying this at this point now. Yeah, it's been a year. And I've stood fast and said, hey, Deion Sanders is an elite recruiter. We can talk about a lot of things about like actual football, not that you hate him, not that you think he's narcissistic and all these other like fake things that y'all just make up because y'all heard a buzzword and y'all saw some ESPN propaganda. I'm talking about actual coaching skill. As a recruiter, that is something that I won't even have a conversation with you about. I'll have a conversation about the run game, have a conversation about clock management, I'll have a conversation about all other coaching things that Deion Sanders does as a coach as a recruiter. Absolutely elite. I don't think there are many in college besides the Kirby Steves, Dabos, like the elites of coaches that can out recruit or even come close to Colorado. You see some of the names that Colorado is in, and I know. Again, I'm big recruiting because, one day I thought I was going to be a D1 recruit. So not only have I paid attention to it, now I still pay attention to it, even though past my years have been able to do that. So recruiting and marketing, because that's what it is. It's marketing, right? It's how can I continue to put this image in your head? And the fact that Colorado not only does that on the, hey, high school people do that. I don't know if y'all see them 5 stars just because they don't pick them. They be having that Colorado right next to. Okay. And then, okay, in the transfer portal, who do I get? I don't just get somebody. Like Willie Taggart was saying, no, you get somebody out of FAU who wasn't getting recruited by anybody, right? So I want to double down on both with Willie Taggart, because clearly he's in the NFL coaching. So clearly he did something right? So, you know what I'm saying? And then for Lajohntay, the connection is great. But then on top of that, it's like, who else? Clearly nobody else in the nation knew who Lajohntay was, right? Now, obviously going off of FAU helped, right? But I don't think, Deion Sanders wasn't intrigued by Lajohntay because he had other looks. He was at FAU. If he would have had other looks, he would have been gone. Like, let's be honest. If any of them big Florida schools would have offered him, I'm sure he would have been gone. So shout out to Deion Sanders. Shout out to that the lineage that he's building. Not lineage, well, lineage is his people's, but shout out to the program that he's building, because you're finding diamonds in the rough that aren't just some dudes that are fast. No, they're people that NFL coaches to this day look at you and say, hey, these are top tier guys, top tier character, and they do things at a high level. So let's hear a little bit about both the Willie Taggart situation, because he spoke about how he's going to prove himself, and then also Lajohntay himself. He's going to speak about Willie Taggart, in that, and then he's also going to talk a little bit about Lajohntay Wester, about Shedeur. But first, let's hop into this real quick, because I'm not sure how long this is.
Before he was coaching up Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and the other running backs,
talking about Willie Taggart,
he was the head coach at Florida Atlantic University, where he gave a young player a shot when no other major programs came calling. That player is Ravens rookie wide receiver Lajohntay Wester.
Yeah.
From the very first practice in Boca Raton, Taggart saw the undersized but fearless receiver make play after play, quickly proving he belongs.
Hey, look at, I'm sorry, come on, you know me. If you've been watching my channel long enough, you know me. And if you know me, you know I don't just sit here and just watch football. I don't just watch this and that, even though I do. That's a big thing. I like context clues. You know what I'm saying? I like to see, how does the, you know what I'm saying? How does the teammates respond? Are the teammates just patting you on the head, or are they locked in? Are they all excited? Is Willie Taggart saying, I mean, this is different. I want y'all to know that these players, these young men, right, that are a part of the Baltimore Ravens are uplifting Lajohntay. Happy to see Lajohntay ball out. And of course, he's just a teammate, whatever. That's a 6th round pick, dog. That's clearly a 6th round pick that has, hey, some people like him in that locker room, man. Some people want him to, keep doing his thug dizzle, man. I like that a lot. I like hearing that from Willie Taggart. I like hearing that from Madam here too. Shout out to her. Let her finish the video. I keep stomping on her dope. Go ahead, big dog. Go ahead, big dog.
Fielded a punt early in Baltimore's preseason opener against the Indianapolis Colts. Lajohntay didn't just make a play. He made a statement. One he actually predicted earlier that day.
I knew he was going to come and impress people by the way he played. Tell you what was cool about.
And that's just kind of what we talked about. Okay, so I wanted to see what this was. I think it's just basically I think it's a recap of what we just did, what we just talked about. So you know what? I'm gonna do my job for myself, man. All right, let's hear what Lajohntay Wester had to say about speaking to Willie Taggart, and obviously that relationship, speaking of all those sorts of things. Let's hear about it.
Now you got that call from Willie Taggart, who you have a connection with, right, from FAU. So what's it like, first of all, what was it like getting that call from him, and then being with the Ravens and having that familiarity with Coach Taggart?
It meant the most to me. I mean, Tag is family to me. He's just not no coach. We're from the same hood.
That's beautiful, man. That's
grew up
beautiful,
around
man.
the same thing. Got a lot of the same family members. So we've been tied in since before FAU. So it was a great getting that call from him.
Okay, and I didn't know that. So you said you've been tied together since before FAU.
Yeah. Tell
me just a little bit about that.
Yeah, Coach Tag is kind of like my uncle in a sense, by marriage, if you want to say that. But yeah, that's family for real.
So that's real family.
Yeah,
okay,
that's real family. For
All right.
Sure.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing. Now, speaking about somebody who also might not be family, but might be your brother. Let's speak about Shedeur Sanders, and what does Lajohntay have to feel about after both of these young men went crazy in the preseason this year?
Let's take a little bit more of a journey from FAU. You went over to Colorado, and Deion Sanders, he posted all of you guys the other day. He was like, right.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So
shout out Coach Prime, man.
Like anyone who plays for him is like family for him. So speak about having that opportunity to play for Coach Sanders and what his influence has been on your career.
Man, it was a blessing coming to play with Coach Prime. You see it. I seen it when I was at FAU. I'm like, man, I want to be a part of that. Like, just having a head coach with that type of swag, that type of player mentality, like, they going to have to come in here and beat us.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't change for nobody. Just his position just changed.
I want to stop right there because we've been hearing a lot about Lajohntay. Some people, because y'all know I'm a Texas fan, right? I'm a Texas fan. I'm a Texans fan, right? And it's funny because if you grew up in Texas, it's really easy to answer this question. Hey, why are you a Deion Sanders fan? Why do you support Colorado and Shedeur and all them? I want y'all to understand that Deion Sanders is a larger than life celebrity, right? In doing so, right, as a kid, I was mesmerized watching highlights and seeing the flash and the cool and the fact that, again, that's why I used to like Conor McGregor back in the day. It's not the fact that he talked a bunch of it's the fact he talked and then he was also the best out there. Like, that combination, that's what intrigued me. Oh my God, this dude was the best cornerback, and he talked all that, and he was the dude, and he was, what I'm saying? And he wasn't a traditional talker. He was more of like he'll get it, Deion would get on you, but more about the talk that he would talk more so, right? Hey, I'm that dude, okay? And he proceeds to be that dude. The legends of him ordering Lamborghinis on the day of the Super Bowl, all this, like the allure, like he is kind of like Bo Jackson, in which he is like, there's mythical tales told about Deion Sanders. He was a rapper at one point, right? So he is this icon of a person, right? When I was talking about the marketing of recruiting, right? I was talking about what that means. And why do I like it? Why do players navigate towards it? Why do multiple 5-stars? Why does Jordan Seaton want to be there? Why does Julian Lewis want to be there? Why does why did Cormani McClain want to be there? And I think all those people who ask that question just don't get it. I think you just don't get what it looks like to see somebody, like he just said, but that really hit me, who unapologetically is themselves. It's the same thing with Shedeur, right? Everybody's looking for a reason why Shedeur fell. What is this? What is that? It's not hard for me, right? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also not one of those good old boys who are just going to let you know, hey, Shedeur Sanders is just one of those cocky narcissists. No. What it is, okay, is that people who look like Shedeur Sanders, if they want to be respected on face value, have to carry themselves in a certain way. Saquon Barkley, Isaac, what was that dude? The basketball, the black dude. If you don't carry yourself a certain way, they don't really mess with you, right? And then not only that, but to be boisterous about it too. Because Lamar Jackson, I know what you're going to say. Well, Lamar Jackson is kind of like that. Lamar Jackson, he beats his own drum, but he's not loud. They don't let people like Shedeur, like Deion, like Lajohntay, like Travis Hunter. Why is he dancing? Why is Travis Hunter dancing at practice? But y'all wonder why 5-stars and elite athletes want to come play for Deion Sanders. Why is Shedeur Sanders playing music? But y'all wonder why he was comfortable there. Why do they have their handles on the back of their jersey? But you wonder why a 5-star in Jordan Seaton, a USC commit in Jordan Lewis, why they want to be a part of it. It's over, dog. For all y'all who want to lie and act like living in modern football and being a person who just stands for themselves and can be genuine and get through to these young men, it's here. That's what Deion Sanders is. That's why I'm a fan. Unapologetically Deion Sanders. And then on top of that, he tells you who primetime is. Hey, primetime ain't even me. That's just a shtick. He told y'all that, but y'all still mad. Oh my God, he think I'm selling tickets right now. But at his core, a God-fearing man. He adopted Texan. I'm from Texas. He adopted Texan. Again, if you're a Texas guy, he did a lot of work in Texas, Texas high school, Texas Little League football. So if you're from there, you should know what's happening, especially around my age. You know that, right? What Deion Sanders does goes beyond just football. And it's so odd to me in the world of NIL and people and microwave this and that people don't champion Deion Sanders. I'm not a preacher by any thoughts or regard. I'm never going to preach religion on you. We do football around here. But the type of good old boys that got a problem with Deion Sanders are I'm assuming God-fearing people. I'm assuming they like classic, real, gritty football. Deion Sanders, instead of cowering, like a coach who won't be named, cowering and saying that, oh, this new form of college football is not for me. I can't do it. Instead, he's like, oh, well, how do I adapt it? How do I bring Hall of Fame coaches in here in the NFL? How do I make this run like an NFL organization while still being able to outreach and add to these young men? And a lasting impression. I don't think you get it. I don't think y'all get it, man. Y'all never gonna get it. Y'all are never gonna get the beauty of Deion Sanders if you don't get this right here. Unapologetic. Expressing himself, allowing others to express themselves. But people are hating and confused as to why. Why do people support?
And I think that
it's crazy, man.
Me and brought me in more.
Right.
And wanted me to be a part of that just because he led them. Like, he led the whole university. And he pushed me day in and day out. Like, he tested me as a man, as a player, everything. So it was great playing with him. That's my dog. That's my dog.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, we had our ups and downs, but that's my dog, man.
And that's what anybody.
Literally.
And speaking of which, he kind of dropped a bomb on everyone about his health, but thank goodness he's on the up and up.
Yes.
Have you had any conversations with him since then, and just speak a little bit on that?
Nah, I haven't had no conversation with him since then. I've just been praying for him. God doing his thing like he always do with him. You see, back on his feet, back better. And hopefully, Lord's willing, he stay healthy.
Now, speaking of showing out, you said the Colorado boys are showing out, and they are.
Yes, Lord.
Shador was one of those. Got Travis Hunter over with the Jags. Jimmy Horn Jr. with Carolina.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Shador, what do you want people to know about him? Because I feel like he's a little misunderstood sometimes.
He's very misunderstood. I just want everybody to know, like, he's probably one of the hardest working people that I know. Funny guy, great leader. And he's the type of player that change the organization.
Yeah.
On and off the field. Like, he do a lot of charity stuff in the community.
We've seen that.
And he work hard. Like, he bring everybody together. Like,
you love to see that, and you love to hear that, right? The lasting impression that not only Shador but also Deion Sanders had. This is real life and this is real love, and you're going to see this grow and continue to matriculate, right? I want y'all to know this is only the two. Deion Sanders has only had, we got to count, not counting Jackson State, which we got to, right? So I'm going to go back and fact check myself. Don't worry. I'm going to have it updated in the next video. But as of right now, these are only two Colorado classes, right? You have Xavier Worthy, I think a few others. I think there was a defensive lineman out in Miami. And I'm also missing two. You got, obviously, Xavier Weaver, Will Shepard. Now talking about this one, obviously, Travis, Lajohntay, Shador, like this. I already said Lajohntay, Jimmy, Travis. It's just a lot. Cam, BJ Green, right? So you have all of these players, and I want you to all watch as it grows. It's just gonna keep growing. It's gonna take that next level and that next step, right? And I think you're going to see a web of CU players looking back at the time and continuing to, I don't know how this became a Coach Prime video, but hey, continuing to speak the word of Coach Prime and what he does. And I think Lajohntay's story is so great. I think Lajohntay is one of those people that I don't know who he is, but if you need somebody to root for, I'm telling you, Lajohntay is somebody easy to root for. Hoping he does amazing things, not only as a receiver, but also in the return man. I think he's going to do that. He's already making waves. Let's see him make more waves. Like the video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you like football content, though. Holla at me if you want to see anything else and anything in particular. New news coming up. So I'm going to have a new video coming out, but you'll be great. See you next time. Peace.